Activists are still planning to occupy Perth during Chogm, despite the violent end to Melbourne's protest yesterday. The Occupy Wall Street campaigners claim officers used brutal force and are demanding compensation.
A peaceful protest that descended into chaos. It's these scenes that have Perth protesters nervous.
Look, we condemn the police violence that took place in Melbourne yesterday. We're very concerned that happened at all. And we are calling on the authorities in WA, the police and the state government, to ensure that the democratic right to protest is respected next week during Chogm.
I don't want to see any people in Perth getting their heads grabbed and dragged by their heads or any of that kind of thing.
But despite the violence, the Occupy Perth participants and the Chogm Network Action Group vow to push on with their messages.
Primarily they're based around the wealth inequality globally, but as well as certain wealth inequality issues in Australia.
The anti-greed activists intend to peacefully camp indefinitely in Forest Place from Friday, the first official day of Chogm.
At the moment, there's no endpoint set, but I would expect that will at least continue throughout the Chogm summit itself.
Meanwhile, just 24 hours after the bloody clashes, thousands of protesters have again occupied the Melbourne streets, but today peacefully.
Democracy is under attack.
Police have come under fire for what some describe as heavy-handed tactics, which saw 95 arrests and dozens injured.
Some police officer reached over and punched me right in the eye, as you can see there.
I saw people getting ripped out and pulled into the police line and beaten. I saw people capsicum sprayed.
What we saw was absolutely unnecessary, brutal force.
Legal representatives for the group are calling for an independent inquiry and compensation.
I think we saw something that we'd all hope to say we'd never see again on the streets of Melbourne.
But Occupy Melbourne says its fight is far from over, vowing to move in to Treasury Gardens next weekend.
We have the right to free speech and the right to demonstrate in this state.
Alicia Banner, 10 News.